G'day legends, I hope that you're doing very well. Now, since I got back from Turkey, I've really felt a little bit flat, and that could be for a number of reasons, and having an injury doesn't really help that I could barely walk on at the moment. But look, I got out, I got some sun, I got in the gym, threw some weights around, nothing bloody impressive at all, and got some good sleep, and I tell you, I feel so much better, and that, I guess, has reflected in my content of being a bit flat. So what I'm trying to say is get out there, look after yourself, and never underestimate the importance of doing some exercise, getting some sun, and maybe taking some time for yourself. Now, I always cop a little bit of shit about not going to places like Syria. Well, I was actually in Syria last week, and it was been my least watched video in 12 months, but that doesn't matter to me because it's been the favorite video that I've done in that time. So I'll leave a link for that below if you'd like to have a watch. Now, today we're going to talk about China logistics and this fake video of a German Leopard 2 tank with 1488 written on the side. Now, what is 14-88? Well, 1488 is a combination of two popular white supremacist numeric symbols. The first number, being 14, is shorthand for the 14 words slogan, which is "We must secure the existence of our people and the future for white children." The second, 88, which stands for Hail Hitler, H being the 8th letter of the alphabet. Together, these numbers form a general endorsement of white supremacy and its beliefs. But I did a little bit of digging, and this was photoshopped from this video posted 11 months ago. Thing is about propaganda like this is propaganda has been around since the beginning of wars, but it's getting harder and harder to distinguish. And with AI and deepfakes now coming into the fold, or at least in the future, it is going to get almost impossible to differentiate these in the future. Now, let's have a look at some maps. And people saying, is Bakhmut encircled? Well, let's have a look at the map. And we're in here. So we have Ukraine, as always, Kiev, the capital, Romania, Poland, Belarus, and Russia. And where we're looking, and before I go that far, red parts is what Russia has captured since the invasion on the 24th of February 2022. And the maroony red is from 2014. So we're zooming in here on Bakhmut. Now, today is the 28th, and it is only just updated. I've been waiting on this update since yesterday. I had some problems with that. So let's go back to the last time we spoke, at least looking at the map moving, is the 26th. So let's go to the 27th. We see this spire pop out on the side of this second dam. This dam is the one that allegedly had the dam broken or burst, and then now we've had this big bulge come out, moving further into Kromove, and this road potentially being the last road in and out of Bakhmut. Now, I did think it was funny that the Georgian Legion shared this photo on Twitter, putting this bulge to looking like Kankali. Now, if you haven't had Kankali Georgian food, it is absolutely incredible. Now, something that I can't really fathom is how this isn't cut off. And my friends are saying there's still not, yes, there's some level of tactical encirclement, and I know people will pop off in the comments about they're saying it is fully encircled. Well, yes, but there's still fighting in here and still holding things back. But what I can't understand is how this isn't completely cut off, because if we look, even if we're somewhat big with the numbers, let's say it's in half this, it's only 2 kilometers, and with modern weapons 2 kilometers is nothing, especially if we say that this is the front. We're talking just over 1 kilometer to this road, and that is an incredibly critical situation, and this is getting encircled slowly. And we've seen this happening over the past, let's say, month. We have seen this happening. And let's have a look at the Russian sources Rybar map. And what is it showing similar to this? So if we have a look at, well, it doesn't really show Kromove on this, but if we have a look at where this road bends, which is just through here, and the sort of distance, it's fairly similar. Now, one thing I will say that this map is showing that this one is not, is this is that second reservoir dam that the Russian sources map is saying that they have cut all the way down through here and have basically taken control of this dam, where the Western sources, the deep state map at least, is not showing that. But the rest is fairly similar, except from this south, they are showing that they are closer on the Russian sources map to this road through Ivangorod than the Western sources is showing. And let's have a look on the live UA maps. And live UA maps compared to Deep State is showing that this sort of southern or northern front is, still a fair way off this road, where the live UA is showing it's right up to this road near Chassav Yar, and as well hasn't moved much as in the other maps are showing. And if we look on the ISW map, again, it is showing very close to this road near Chassav Yar, and it is showing on this one that they have completely taken this second reservoir, although they're not close to this first. So again, very close to this road through Komove. So it is always hard to tell which is which, what is what, but we have also seen that Russia has taken some more of these city blocks that we have talked about in here and moved up on this eastern side of the river. So where will this go in the next couple of days, couple of weeks? I'm not really sure. A month ago, I would have said that this was getting encircled and would collapse very soon. I think we will see a withdrawal from Bakhmut at some point in the near future, but when that is, I could not tell you. Now, down in Vohidny, we have seen very similar to what I said I thought that we would see a few videos back. Now, a few videos back, I said I thought we'd see this area in here close up, and we've seen that. So we'll actually go to the satellite image, because this is what I was speaking about, was they were moving down these two sort of creeks through here, and that this region would close off. Whether Russia took this ground or Ukraine fell back to a better fighting position, I am unsure, but that has closed up. Now, just to the south of Mariinka, we have seen some Russian gains as well in the past 24 to 48 hours. So if we go back to the 26th and then the 27th, we've seen some gains in here to the south through this farmland. Now, what does this look like on the live UA map? It is showing as much, if not more. So what does the Deep State map show similar to this? So if we look at the airstrip and down here, which I'm not even going to try and pronounce that because I'll be bloody hopeless, it is showing more of a bulge down through here. And let's have a look on the ISW. So if we have a look here, it's sort of showing that this region is taken on these other maps, but it is not showing that here or even claimed control, but it is showing claimed control all the way up over Mariinka through in this region. So they at least claimed control. So it is a very hard situation to get a grasp on exactly what is happening. Also near Bolohovkia, which is up to the north, if we have a look, this is the map again, so we're zooming right in on this region. There has been no territorial gain changes, but there has said that Ukraine did push back Russian attacks in this region over the past 24 hours. And this is somewhere we have seen a lot of fighting and a lot of different pushes. So if we compare this over the map, this is still showing a contested region. And that ends our look at the maps today. Now, talk recently has been about China providing lethal aid to Russia, and rumours really picking up more and more after China released their 12-point peace plan for this conflict. And yes, it's not lost on me, China of all places talking about human rights abuses. But something I see come up again and again is lethal aid. And America saying real costs for China if the country decides to provide Russia with lethal aid. Now, my question that I think needs to be asked is, what is lethal aid? Well, this article written in the Wall Street Journal, and this was written one day before the February 24th invasion. And as we know, throughout major conflicts and some health things we've had over the past couple of years, definitions get changed as politics and money gets involved. Now, lethal aid is a military aid designed to kill people, while non-lethal aid can refer to basically anything else, including communications equipment and medical supplies. Make no mistake, when officials say lethal aid, they mean deadly weapons. The distinction can be vague, but it is legally significant. The State Department can authorize distribution of non-lethal aid, while lethal aid requires a presidential directive and a briefing to congressional leaders. Now, the reason I bring this up, and this is my opinion, and when I say this is my opinion, Russia has that much physical equipment like tanks and guns and even bodies that isn't what is letting them down in this conflict. What is letting them down is their logistics, the technology, and most importantly, command incompetence, as well as corruption, meaning an inability to do proper combined arms assaults in the offensive. Now, my question is, and what I want to know your opinion on, if China were to help in, let's call it, soft supplies or non-lethal aid, would this make a big difference? And would China be able to dodge around gaining more sanctions without providing the elusive lethal aid? Could it influence these issues we've spoken of? That's what I want to know from you. When asked about lethal aid, the US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan has told CNN, "From our perspective, this war presents real complications for Beijing, and Beijing will have to make its own decisions on how it proceeds, whether it provides military assistance." He continued, "If it goes down that road, it will come at real cost to China." He added that the US was laying out both stakes and consequences of such a decision in diplomatic talks with China, and we're already doing that clearly and specifically behind closed doors. Now, it's well known that China is watching how the West respond to this invasion and taking notes, as well as other countries, as well as we've been doing the same. You know, countries that have more of a pro-Russian stance, we've been looking at them and taking notes as well. And as well as looking at how the Russian invasion went and looking at how a modern large-scale conflict goes. During his nightly address on February the 27th, President Volodymyr Zelensky stressed the importance of modern combat aircraft for Ukraine. He referenced today's drone attack to further his point that only 11 of the 14 drones launched by Russia were successfully shot down. He says our pilots, our anti-aircraft fighters, all the soldiers and the specialists of our Air Force are already doing a great job. But we will be able to fully protect the sky when our partners move past the aviation taboo. Joe Biden again has ruled out sending fighters to Ukraine, saying in an ABC interview on the 24th that he has ruled out giving Ukraine advanced fighter jets for now. Personally, I do think we will see countries make larger moves towards these fighter aircraft in the same way we saw with tanks. Once one country fully commits, then we will see a domino effect and jets come in. But I can't predict the future. So that's all for today. Now, if you'd like to support me, there's links down below, but never feel obliged to do that. Having you here is enough. I really appreciate it and appreciate you spending some time with me. So look after yourselves. Have a great day. So thank you very much. Okay, bye-bye.